Welcome to Beyond the Walls, a podcast where faith doesn't stop on Sunday morning. Together we'll explore what it looks like to take your faith to where you live, where you work, and where you do everyday life. I'm Jared Kendall, joined by Cameron Jinks and Jordan Sheehy. Come with us as we discuss what it looks like to have real faith beyond the walls.
What's up, podcast listeners? This is Jordan. We got no Cameron.
Where is Cameron?
He's sitting next to us. He has no mic.
Oh, I thought he was in the bathroom. Hey, this is Jared. It's good to see everybody. Good to talk to everybody again on Beyond the Walls. Over the next couple of weeks, we are going to be hearing from people who have gone on mission trips this summer from our church. And so they're taking...
Sorry, my voice is kind of gone. We just got done with Crazy Summer Nights.
Jordan is going through puberty right now. It's great. So anyway, we are... We are going to hear from some people that went to the Dominican Republic, and so I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves, and then we'll just get rolling with it.
I'm Mateo.
My name is Josiah.
I'm Whitney.
We'd love to hear, just give us 30 seconds, who you are. Obviously, you just gave us your name, but like who you are, what do you do, how old are you? Go for it.
You just asked me how old I am?
Well, I'm more talking to the high schoolers in the room, but yeah, Whitney, how old are you?
I am in my late 30s. Very thankful to go on this mission trip. I am a member here at church, married to Shane. We have Ty, Warren, and Nash.
Ooh. I'm Josiah. I've been here for a little bit. I just graduated high school.
I'm Mateo. I've also been here for a little bit, and I'm going in the 10th grade.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, thank you so much. Where all did you travel this summer?
We went to the Dominican Republic.
What specific town?
We started out at an orphanage in Santo Domingo, and then we're there for a couple of days, and then we spent a couple of days in the village of Bombita, and then we spent a couple days in the village of Bate Uno.
Are those all fairly close to each other, or is that a pretty big travel every time?
Absolutely not. We take a 4-hour bus ride through the mountains, kind of, and it's very hot, and there's like 20 people on this little bus, so it's definitely longer than 4 hours, it feels like, but it's like 4 hours.
A lot more than 20.
Before we jump too far in, what organization do you go with? Who are you connected to that got you to the DR?
AOTK, Army of the Kind.
So what got me connected was my friend Byron. He was adopted from the Dominican Republic, and his parents they went with this organization, and then I met the organization leader at Byron's house, and she told the story, and then that's what got me connected.
It's cool.
And then for years, I just watched this local family, the Harrisons, who I knew, fundraise for different mission trips to go there. And then whenever they decided to adopt Byron, fundraise for the thousands of dollars that it took to get him here. And they had to go there and just always wanted to be a part. They lived there for 6 months. They took their whole family there. Incredible. And they did a lot of fundraising, and I always wanted to participate. And then whenever I had the opportunity to actually go, and unless the Lord changes my plans, I will never not go to Dominican.
Wow, it's awesome. Shout out to Jordan and Andy. They're great.
Absolutely.
We'd love to hear. You went to the orphanage, went to 2 other towns. Like, what all did you do in those towns? What did you do at the orphanage? Things like that.
At the orphanage, we just started out. We had to paint their outer wall, and we had to paint their office, and we actually ended up painting the office the wrong color. So we had to wait for it to dry and then restart it.
We also did just a lot of loving on the people there. It's a boys' orphanage, and there are ladies there that take care of them. They call them the Tias. And so a lot of what we get to do whenever we first get there is just love on them. Whenever we pull up on their road, there's a big gate. Those kids are climbing the gate over the wall just because they're so excited that they know that we're coming. And so that first night we just get to see them. A lot of us have been going back year after year. A lot of us, it's the first time, and so for people to get to experience that was pretty amazing. And then we put on some kids programs, kind of like a mini VBS, some skits, just very basic things, but the most basic things mean the most to them.
It's good.
It's cool. Josiah, what'd you get to do?
Yeah, just like Mateo, I got to paint, and I'm usually last year I was on the construction team, but this year I got to spend a lot of time with the kids and really just connecting with them. Even though like I don't speak a lot of Spanish, but I know some, and those kids like even though they know that you don't speak their language, they still like they talk to you like you're speaking like the same language, and it's just really cool to see and just like because you can just tell that they don't have like a lot of relationships with people. And so whenever you're there, they like take it very like intimate and they want to get to know you and just play games with you and love on you and stuff.
What's their culture like? Like, how different is it from ours? Things that you guys did throughout the week that just was like, oh, this is different?
One of the things is the traffic. There's just there's two lanes and you're going like the same direction, but you just cut people off like no other. And some other, I don't know if there's any. I don't feel like there's a lot that maybe like I didn't see, but.
Was there food or anything that was different than what we eat here?
Yeah, I probably ate beans and rice the most ever. So
Yeah.
Were they good though?
they're pretty gas.
There's just something about South American beans and rice that are just so incredible. I don't know how to explain it. Well, out of the orphanage, you moved to what town after that?
Bombita.
And what'd you do in Bombita?
Well, it's Barahona, is the town where the villages are. So one of the kind of arms of what we get to do with Army of the Kind is we get to partner with a group called Barahona Rehab Project, and that is a human trafficking rescue.
Oh, wow.
A lady and her husband have literally started it from the ground up in their home where they and their son live. It's amazing. We get to meet the girls the new girls. We get to see the girls that we saw last year. They have different jobs, like industries that they have built within that nonprofit so the girls can work. It's amazing. And
really
actually, so her name is Katie, the lady that runs the house, and Joel is her husband. Their group actually cooked for us in their home. Well, the whole time we were in Barahona, so four days, they made breakfast and dinner for us every day that we were there. Such a labor of love. And we had some really hard days out in the villages, just physically, mentally exhausting days. And to get to go to this home where all of these girls who have gone through so much trauma and so much pain, there was so much joy in that house. And so for us to get to end our days in that house was just an incredible blessing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
For like the last, I'd say a couple months or so, I felt like a calling to help with like human trafficking. And just like the leader of that like group, she like really walked me through like just a lot of things that like would help me with just like walking through that. And I actually changed my major in college.
Wow.
So that was something, and she helped me like pick out which thing would be best. And she like offered me like if I ever wanted to come down and like just help with them and just learn more, then she would be like open arms. And also just seeing those girls, like a lot of times when people bring up the fact that they like there's no God because like all these bad things happen to these people. There was probably girls like as young as 10 years old that have been through human trafficking there, and then just seeing them praise God just really shows that like God isn't defined by your circumstances.
That's
So good.
And that was just really encouraging to see. And
Yeah.
So from Bombito, is that correct? Bombita. From Bombita to the next town was what?
Bate Uno.
And what did we do in Bate Uno? Don't worry, we can cut that part out.
Is that where?
Mateo, did you go on this trip?
no.
I want to give a shout out to John Gray. He spent so much time on the trip just checking on, making sure the kids, not just kids, but all the people there. He checked their vision, and also Patience Miller. She's a nurse, and she was there checking on everybody's health. Just give a shout out to them.
It's good. I love it. Joe, what did you guys do there?
So Bombita is like, it's still very poor, but you like think to yourself like, how could this get worse? And it does with Bate 1. It was like, I think they told us it was like a Haitian refuge or something like that. So they like set up camp after the earthquake, and then there's a bunch of different Bates, like Bate 1, 2, 3, 4, like it goes on. And we were in Bate 1, and there was a roof team, that the nutrition center is really something. It was really cool, and I was just with the team that played with kids, and I connected with this one kid very well. And
What was his name?
I have no idea because it was in Spanish.
It's good.
I could tell you what he looked like though.
Oh, good. What did he look like?
He was.
Cut this out.
We're gonna cut that part.
He called himself Michael Jackson and danced like Michael Jackson a lot.
Then he said he wasn't Michael Jackson.
He was wearing a jersey. I know that.
That kid was hilarious. Oh, hold on.
It wasn't Simon. Simon is in Bombita.
I feel like I can remember it.
Yeah, you gotta cut all of this. Jordan would die if this part.
We're good. We're good. Did you have anything you want to add about that last town? Hey, tell us more about the nutrition center.
So one of the really cool things, a few years ago, whenever they started going, there was nothing at this site that is now the nutrition center. And they had just started construction right before 2020, and then COVID happened. And so that put a huge halt on everything. And so for the past 6 years, 5 years, I guess, little by little, like we would do things, or the group that was there on the mission trip would do things, get cement and the concrete blocks and everything, lay the floor. And then the pastor who we partner with, his name's Pastor Manolo. He and his family are amazing. They take care of a lot of things for us while we're there, just to keep us safe and make sure that we're taken care of while we're there trying to serve them. They're serving us in turn, which is another just beautiful aspect of the whole trip. But he's got family and sons and just people that help him in his church. They continue the work whenever the mission isn't actually going. And so last year, whenever we were there, I think there were walls and there were doors, but there weren't windows. There was still a lot of construction, so they weren't actually serving all of the kids yet. And this year, going back, we got to do a full nutrition service for the kids. And I think all of the kids that were there, it was the first one that all of the kids got to eat.
That's cool.
That was pretty amazing to be a part of. And there's people that come to Bombita, they come there, and then they do a nutrition center in Bate 1, and they do a lunch 5 days a week, so the 5 weekdays for these kids, and it's amazing.
That's really good. It's really
Pretty
good.
incredible.
Well, you'll hear us say this probably a lot, podcast listeners. Going on mission, you often assume, like, I'm bringing something to someone else. And what we usually find out is when we get on the mission field, like, the Lord was bringing something to us the entire time.
Yeah.
And so we'd love to hear from you guys. Like, what's the thing that stuck out to you the most that the Lord was teaching you while you were overseas?
My biggest thing is, like, I went into it just kind of like missions. I always just, like, thought of it as you're slaving away and just going there to go and do work. And what the thing is, like, that's part of it, but, like, you're going there to reflect God and just let people see God through the way you do your work.
That's good. That's good.
That's real good.
So kind of just to expand on what I was talking about earlier, just the hospitality of the people that we were with and the families that we were with, that in our eyes, compared to what material things that we have,
for sure.
They don't have much. Some have nothing, but they have the love of Christ. And that transcends any material thing that we could have. And we had just had a couple of experiences on this trip where we really got to see the love of Christ through people and through families. Again, where we think we're going there to serve them, I learned so much about loving your neighbor and treating your neighbor as yourself on this trip.
So good.
For me, it just goes back to that human trafficking, like refuge center, and just like seeing those girls. We would walk in and breakfast, and they would have worship music playing, and they were all just singing and dancing, and just like seeing them like what they've been through is worse than probably anything I'll ever experience. And seeing them still worship God even through what they've been through, and still like know that He's faithful and just seeing that really like encouraged me. It's like what I go through in life. Just that God is always faithful, and it was just really encouraging to see them the way they worship.
It's cool, Josiah, to hear you talk about how the Lord had been laying on your heart for a while about this, and then He places you overseas with somebody who He had that already all worked out for you to come in contact with them, and it just solidifies what God's doing in your life. Even though you were going there to work for them, God showed up right there with you, and it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Well, if there is anything else you'd love to share, we'd love to hear any final statements about your trip.
I just want to say thank you to those listeners that go to our church, First Baptist. Our missions and ministry team actually helped fund each of the three of us, and it was a really crucial time in our fundraising effort. And it left the three of us with a very, very small balance. And I think within a day or two of the gift from the church, we were all funded, and so that was an amazing blessing. And also for our team, we also had a big fundraiser that very same week, I think. And so the funds that were raised then were able to go to other people who still had balances on their trip. So that was a huge blessing from our church.
That's cool.
Was that the cornhole tournament?
Yes.
I got second.
Not first.
No. The Gardeners are just sneaky good.
The Gardeners
really,
are good.
Emily's incredible.
So on the very last day when we were going to the orphanage just to love on the kids, and we were leaving that day, like later in the day, I was standing by a car in our hotel, and all of a sudden the back like windshield type thing just shatters, like completely, like it looked like a baseball, like 4 baseballs have been thrown like through it, and everyone said I didn't touch it. I didn't think I touched it, so I have like honestly no clue how. But there's just like a really cool story behind like how God worked through that. I don't know it fully, but I think Whitney does.
So, I mean, we've all heard stories where like someone is praying for something and maybe God drops like a dollar amount in their spirit or something like that. And then maybe their pastor confirms it or someone confirms it. So this is kind of one of those stories. So to go on these mission trips, I mean, it's tens of thousands of dollars to get everything executed, flights, meals, hotels, everything like that, all the travel. And so, you know, all of the money that we raised goes to pay for that trip. And so everything is allotted, like down to the penny. Very, very particular, because a lot of these are funds that people have donated, you know, for mission, specifically for mission. So when that happened, obviously the right thing to do was like, we were the ones that were there. We need to take responsibility for this, like make sure that whoever the owner is knows what's going on. And so Jordan reached out to the hotel manager, who we've been using that hotel year after year. So we thankfully have a good relationship with them. We had to leave. And so she's sending messages like, hey, this is what happened. We want to just make sure you know and are aware. Turns out it was that lady's car, the manager, who we have a good relationship with. So she's like, no problem. Thank you for reaching out, you know, and doing the right thing. I've already got someone coming to replace it today. That's my personal car. I'll just make sure you guys get the invoice because, you know, as an organization, we wanted to make it right for them. It was $310. So that's what the bill was, which I mean, you know, really is not crazy. And we didn't have anything really like legal to deal with. It was just going to be settled. So Jordan is finishing like reconciling all of her money, and we literally had $310 left from our mission trip money. Wow. Like you can't, I mean, she was counting it in real time right there. You can't make that up. It's just one more thing to strengthen our faithfulness or our faith that he's faithful in all things. Like that was a crazy freak thing. I was watching, like I had my eyes on Josiah. He did not touch that window, but I also just believe it was God, just, you know, blessing obedience and us doing the right thing and just confirming that we are in the right place at the right time, doing what he wants us to be doing.
I love it.
That's cool. So one last thing. There's a lot of people that wonder, should I go on mission? Why should I go on mission? Obviously, the DR is not for everybody. We're going to hear from Luke, who went to Mozambique. We're going to hear from others who have gone around the world. But if you could share just one short thing with our listeners about why they should go on mission, what would that be? How would you encourage them to do that?
So for me, it's just I would just say that and the Great Commission, obviously,
Well,
and he calls you to go on mission, but that doesn't always mean overseas. I've been on 2 mission trips, I believe, to an OKC, and that like prepared me for going overseas. I would say. So just being on mission where you're at too, because you can't like. If you're not going to share the gospel where you're at, you're not going to share it in somewhere else overseas.
That's good.
When you're tired and whenever you're just pushed to your limits. And I would just say, just be on mission where you're at. And whenever the Lord calls you to go on mission overseas, I would say definitely take it.
I would kind of say the same thing. Like, you don't have to go over the seas just because a big thing Q talked about this week was your mission field is where your feet are, and you don't have to go overseas to spread the gospel. The people here in your hometown need the gospel just as much as people need it in the Dominican Republic or in Africa. So I just say, like, start small, be in your town, and when, like Josiah said, when you're called, definitely take that opportunity.
that's good.
I'm going to put in a plug for sponsorships because, I've been to Christian concerts before, and it's always either prefaced or ended with, some kind of sponsoring some kind of program, and they're all wonderful, and they all help kids. Usually, that's what their focus is. So AOTK Army of the Kind has sponsorships for the orphanages and for the villages. We literally have met the kids that are on that sponsorship list. And there's just something so impactful about knowing that kid.
Yeah.
That, I have had the privilege, Ty and I both have had the privilege of meeting our sponsor kid.
Yeah.
You just don't get to do that in every organization. And so for those people who want to be hooked up with missions somehow, there are ways to do that. There's food sponsorships. There's sponsorships at the Human Trafficking Rescue for their education, for their hygiene, for their medical care. There's a lot of ways. Obviously, like the guys were saying, we want to be on mission where we are. But if you do feel that tug, there's lots of ways, good, reputable ways that you could participate in missions.
Yeah, and so you hear that. If you want to know more about sponsorship or even going on the trip, Whitney would be a great resource. Also, Jordan and Andy Harrison, we can get you connected with them as well, going to the DR. We got a lot more trips to talk about to come soon.
Yeah, I would just say this. If God calls you to go, the finances will show up. We've heard that tonight. God will meet you there. He's planning it long before you even get there. And you're not going for them. God's going to meet you and do something incredible in your life as well. So be on mission all the time. And that's one way that you can take your faith beyond the walls of the church. We have a purpose here at First Baptist Church. And we say it every single week right here in the 918. We want to love God, love people, and make disciples.
See ya.